Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So today I decided to purchase something very out of the ordinary. This one is extremely dusty. This thing sounds like an airplane right now. I think we should shut it off. Interesting.
So here you got your normal cheese grater, then over here, down here you got your extra large cheese grater.
I mean, you're not wrong. It doesn't get any easier than that. Take notes, Apple. You used to do this. So now, in theory, if I go like this, might be helpful to turn the monitor on. Yep. So there's no hard drive. So it does work. It just needs a hard drive. So right now I'm going to try and go through the painstaking process of creating OS X Leopard installation media, which should be fun because we did get the hard drive plugged into it and it seems to be running, but it just doesn't detect a valid system on it because that hard drive has Sierra on it. I don't have the will to wait for this Mac to finish its updates. So I'm creating a partition for my Leopard installer. Okay, so while I'm waiting for my Leopard installation media to download, let me just show you around this thing anyway. So here we have a lot of dust, and also we have this is the dual-core 2.3 GHz PowerPC G5 model, which is pretty cool, but you may notice one thing. If you see liquid, unplug computer and consult manual. Yes, I assume this means it's a liquid-cooled one. Nice. So, also I have a 2 terabyte hard drive plugged in here that I just kind of jammed in there because why not? I don't know if the G5 will handle a 2 terabyte drive. Hopefully it will. But around the front, we also have this lovely sliding door disk drive, so you can watch movies, burn DVDs, this and that on there. Got our nice fans in there. This, as I said, it looks like a cheese grater. This is the original cheese grater Mac. Around the back, we have the video card with the DVI interfaces at the back. You can hook up 2 displays if you want, and we've got a pretty good port selection, which is nice. 3 USB ports. You got audio in and audio out. You've got your optical audio ports, Firewire 800 and 400, and Ethernet ports. Got your power cord at the back, and these gigantic fan holes. This thing looks really cool. Also tucked away in here is, I believe, 512 megabytes of 533 megahertz DDR2 RAM, I think. I mean, it's decent enough for a G5. I would not recommend using this type of RAM in 2020, but as you can see, it's extremely dusty. I might just try and clean those off. I really love how Apple labeled it G5, just so you don't forget that you have a G5. Now, the G5 is by no means a quiet computer. These things have really loud fans, and also it makes a lot of clicking noises while it's starting up, which sounds really cool. Here, let me show you. So the hard drive that I put in here, I'm pretty sure is SATA 2, and this is a SATA 1 interface, but luckily enough, I just googled it, and apparently SATA 2 is completely backwards compatible with SATA 1, so win-win. Also, the drive does power up, so it will actually run, but I think it's just not formatted properly, because it was running in a Mac that was running macOS Sierra, which is a lot newer than macOS Leopard. So here's my very DIY Leopard DVD, so let's see if the computer will handle it. I might have to open the Open Firmware utility. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to try and open the Open Firmware utility. Hopefully that will bring up. Nope. Okay, time to go back to the Google. There we go. That is what I'm looking for. So I'm following a tutorial online right now for this, and what it says is to type boot ud : // and then there's something else. TBXI. Okay. So now, in theory, that should just work. Can't. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, take 3. I now have the hard drive plugged into the front USB port, so let's see if that works. Now what I'm doing to get it into that open firmware is holding it down until it beeps, plays a startup chime, and then shows open firmware utility on the monitor. And there we go, now it shows it on the monitor as like that. So now, let me try and type that command again. Boot ud : // and then TBXI. TBXI. Can't open device or file. What more do you want from me? We got it working, finally. Preparing installation. Look at that. It works.
Nice.
Yay. Mac OS X installer utilities. Let's go to disk utility. And let's see if the hard drive gets recognized. It does. Look at that.
You can recognize a 2 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, so that hard drive does work in there. Just needs to be erased and reformatted. I figured out it's because I partitioned everything wrong, so...
You figured that out after we fixed it.
Yeah, there we go. This disk has 1 volume. Yes, I'd love to erase it.
After we redid the whole thing, then you figured it out.
Ah, so awesome. There we go. So now it is erased and restored. Macintosh HD. Look at that. Yes.
There you go. You got an old computer.
Sweet. So now I can...
Fast?
No. Well, maybe on...
I mean, if he really wants to, he could just Hackintosh the whole thing.
Hackintosh, meaning what you do is you take all the internals out, swap them out with like fast new ones that aren't supported by actual Mac OS, and then you find a way to hack around it.
Sounds like fun.
It's lots of fun. I want to do it, but Matthew doesn't want to do that to this computer.
Not yet?
Well, I have to repartition it as Apple partition map, so let's go to disk utility again. Where is the utilities menu? It was there, I saw it.
It doesn't exist. Boom! You screwed it up. Good job.
Thank you for that.
As you can probably see if this is in the video, you've just witnessed my friend here screwing something up.
Can I please put that in the video?
I don't know. Maybe.
Where the frick is that utilities info thing? I'm gonna cry. One partition, options. Apple partition. Thank you. Finally. Well, now we have to call this Macintosh HD again. Maybe I should just title it Macintosh HD again. Apply partition. Thank you. Well, looks like it's working, I think. Yes! Continue. Apparently we're installing Mac OS on a folder. Install. This may take a little while.
Why wouldn't you install Mac OS on a folder?
I mean, at least it's not a piece of paper. I've seen that before where it comes up saying, well, now we're installing Mac OS on a piece of paper. Time remaining, calculating. That means it will take...
About 2 hours, flat.
From 2 hours to 5 business days. So this thing's been saying about a minute for just over 5 by this point, and the hard drive keeps turning off and then turning back on again.
Like we said, about a minute means anywhere from 1 minute to 5 business days.
Exactly.
So enjoy
this
calming elevator music.
It's starting. There's the Apple logo. I'm gonna have a panic attack. No, I'm kidding. There we go. Oh, here we go. Okay. before you begin. Okay. Do you identify the keyboard? Click OK. Okay, press the key immediately to the right of the shift... What? Press key immediately to the right of the shift key on the left side of the keyboard. That can't be identified. So yeah, I guess it is this. Okay, press the... Okay, so that. Bam. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Continue. So, we are in Canada because we're Canadian.
Are we really, though?
There we go. Let's go US keyboard layout because why not? No, I do not own another Mac. Actually, I do upstairs, but it's far newer than this. How do you want to connect to the internet? Well, I don't have cable modem. I don't have DSL modem, local network. I need a Wi-Fi card. So we'll just go like that. First name. What's my first name? Last name. Personal information.
And because now we're going into personal information, time to cut.
Well,
hello there. Now that we've cut past the personal information, we're back here. Don't
exactly.
worry about it.
I would not like to get updates from Apple News. There we go. Well, let's see. Password. Let's create a... Actually, do we need a password? No, we don't. We're good. There we go. I don't want a password. Creating your account. There we go. I do not live in Cupertino. Time zone... Vancouver, Canada. Hey, that's more like it. Continue. Just, what's today's date? I think it's that. Yep, current time is 5:17. 5 and then 17. All right. Save. And continue. Don't forget to register. I don't want to register because if I did register, then people at Apple would be like, why the heck are you registering a Mac that old? I don't know. Hey! It's loading. Something. And look at that. We've got our dock. We've got everything. Look at that.
Mac OS is finally done loading.
Exactly. Do you want to use Mac OS? No, I don't want to use the install DVD to back up with Time Machine. No, thank you. All right, let's close this and let's go to About This Mac. Look at that. Dual 2.3 gigahertz PowerPC G5. 4.5 gigabytes of DDR2 RAM, not too shabby, especially for a computer of this tier. But yeah, there we go. That's Leopard, I guess.
Checkmate.
Knight F6 takes H7.
He spoke too soon.
I did speak too soon.
So I've placed the PowerMac G5 right underneath my desk. Let's start it up. These things aren't quiet. I don't know what happened to the startup chime, but that seems to be gone now. But still turns on. I also just noticed something really out of the ordinary. Yesterday it said I have 4.5 gigabytes of DDR2 SDRAM. Now it says I have 2.5 gigabytes. So, I don't know what happened, but I don't know if the RAM sticks died, but you know what? That's going to be a fun project. Let's check it out. So something really odd just happened. I just clicked the power button to wake it from sleep, and all of a sudden the screen doesn't show up with anything, and now the fans are running at full speed. Huh, that's weird. Okay, so this thing sounds like an airplane right now. I think we should shut it off. Weird. Okay, let's try and fire it back up. So no startup chime, but there is the Apple logo on the display. Yeah, it says there's only 2.5 gigabytes of RAM. I even checked System Profiler. It says 2 of the DIMM slots are empty, even though they're not. They both have 1 gigabyte RAM sticks in there. And it doesn't give me an issue saying that Mac OS X quit unexpectedly. So let's go to About This Mac. And sure enough, 2.5 gigs of DDR2 SDRAM. That's supposed to say 4.5 gigs, not 2.5 gigs. So there's something wrong with... I will show you. There is something wrong with these two DIMM slots right here. They both say empty, even though they both have 1 GB RAM sticks inside them. So I was just talking with my friend who was featured in the start of the video, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this off, take it out from under my desk, remove all the RAM, and try to clean any dust that might have gotten in there, because after all, what we did, please ignore my messy desk, we took some dust blaster, we bought that at the dollar store, and we sprayed all the dust out of this, and I'm thinking there might have been a way that some dust got into a few of the DIMM slots, so I'm going to try and clean those out and see if it will make a difference. So let's go ahead and shut this guy down. Okay, so I've disconnected the power. Now I'm going to pull this 50-pound weight out from under my desk. And yeah, everything's still connected, which is nice. So now let's go ahead, and this is what I love about these things, is the latch. Why can't it be this easy to get into every Apple computer nowadays? And this just comes right off. So I'm going to try to de-dust the RAM sticks a little, because in terms of hardware, taking the RAM out of a computer is pretty much the only thing I know how to do. Alright. You want to remove the fans? There you go. There's the fans. Just come out right like that. I assume you just kind of... Oh jeez, this is an awkward angle. Well, there's one RAM stick. I'm just going to take all of these out. I wish RAM was this easy to take out on modern computers. I mean, it is, but just Apple likes to do things like that. There we go. Oh yeah, there's dust all over that one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that one could be a culprit too. And let's take the ones out of the top. Yeah, that one's not great either. This is arguably the dustiest RAM I've ever taken out of a computer. Okay. That almost fell. Yeah, that one looks pretty bad as well. And then one last one up at the top. Oh, that one came out really easily. Well, these pins are a lot easier to move. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that is a lot of dust. Now it's time to clean these off. So I have a bunch of air with me, and let's see if we can clean this. The back of it looks fine. I'll have to wipe that off or something. These things get really cold really quick. This one is extremely dusty. Oh yeah, that's really cold. This one's not too bad, but... Okay, there we go. There's all our DIMM slots. So let's put this RAM back in here. So honestly, I think it might be easier to go ahead and flip this thing over. Okay, so I found a good angle. You put the tripod on top of the G5 box right here. Sorry for the tripod lag right there. So that is, I think, nope, it does not go in that way. I can't help but feel like I'm gonna break something. There we go. All the RAM is in. Let's see if this thing fires up. There we go. Fans are in. Hopefully I didn't break anything in the process. So now, if I click this power button, there's our lovely startup chime. And there we go. So now if we go into about this Mac, 4.5 gigs of DDR2 SDRAM. Thank you. It never shows that on first boot up. It always shows 2.5 gigs. Probably because these things were caked with dust, and I guarantee some's gotten the connectors. So what I did was I took some of this canned compressed air and sprayed out all the slots and everything, and I dusted off the RAM sticks, and now everything seems to be fine and dandy. So let's go ahead and then just shut this off again. Alright, and just for good measure, let's try firing it up one more time. Awesome, okay, so it appears that we fixed the RAM issue. And voila. So now what I'm going to do is try to set up an internet So before we were rudely interrupted, now what I'm going to do is try to set up an Ethernet connection to my G5. And the way I'm going to do that is this, a Wi-Fi extender. Apparently what you can do is, since this has Ethernet out, you can hook up an Ethernet cable to this because it has Ethernet support. So that might actually just work. I just need to find an Ethernet cable. So there's no Ethernet cables lying around the house, so what I'm going to do is, you guessed it, when in doubt, go to the dollar store. $2 for a 6-foot Ethernet cable. It's Cat5e, which is probably slow, but it's cheap and I think it'll work, so let's give it a shot. And just like that, now we have an Ethernet cable. Great! Time to do an unboxing. Well, that works too. And here's our lovely Cat5e Ethernet cable. So now I just need to configure the little Wi-Fi extender that I have, and we should have working Ethernet. Okay, so I just configured that Wi-Fi extender. This thing feels like it has the integrity of a paper straw, so let's hope it doesn't break as we try to connect it to the G5. So if I go like this, it feels like it's about to break. This is number 1. There we go. Okay, hopefully that'll work. So I'm actually going to move this Wi-Fi router over because, as you can see, having this cable stretching across the floor is a little impractical. So let's go ahead and set up the network. So if we go into network, yep, Ethernet 1 is connected. Hey, it works. Awesome. So now we know that Safari works. I want to see if Apple's software update server can still send me updates. Hey, look at that, checking for new software. Look at that, we've got a bunch of updates. Let's install these. Restart will be required. Alright, it is time to restart. There we go. Installing 8 updates. Well, the mouse cursor disappeared and it shut off, and now it's making clicking noises. I assume it's... Yep, it's restarting. Yeah, it looks like it's going to take a bit to start up. Oh, it's doing something. Huh. You good? Okay, it shut off and restarted again. Nice. We are now running 10.5.8. It looks like everything's good to go now. Alright, so thank you for watching me turn a few basic repairs into a 23-minute video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well... Well, yeah. I will see you all in the next one, and goodbye.